Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Controversial Topics with Kate and Heath. And, I had a couple topics. I just recorded a video, but I realized that I didn't really want to upload that because it was not as great as I thought it would be. And I would just want to apologize at the beginning for the lack of uploads in the last month. Probably it's been about a month because I've been super busy with a bunch of things happening. And I said today I'm going to go down and record a video. And and as I just mentioned, I had one and I recorded like 6 minutes of it, and then I was like, wait, this is not the best quality for returning after a brief hiatus. So I wanted to start off with, well, not start off. Every time I make a video, I say that I'm going to start off from brief hiatus, but today it's really been a while, and I wanted to talk about the Electoral College because I'm a very outspoken advocate of the Electoral College. I think it's a very great system. And recently, in the last couple of elections, the system has come under attack because Donald Trump absolutely demolished Hillary Clinton in 2016, although still losing the popular vote. Many people are like, wait, our democracy doesn't work if the amount of people who get more votes is not actually the president, which is a very ignorant thing to say, and I'll explain why. First off, what is the Electoral College? If some of you don't know, which I'd assume you do, the Electoral College is a system where instead of voting directly for the President of the United States, you vote, and then your state, whichever candidate has the most votes in your state, it wins that state, and that state has a certain amount of electors, which is their congressional districts, added plus their 2 senators. And so basically the Electoral College, you vote, your state has its, whoever wins that state, that their electors, when the electors convene, they vote for that candidate, and whoever has the most Electoral College votes, I think it's 271, wins the election. And it's a very good system for a couple of reasons that we'll get into. But the main reason why people think it's a bad system is because, say, like happened in the last couple of elections, you lose the popular vote, but you get more Electoral College votes. Well, it seems like your vote doesn't really count now, does it? But actually, that's extremely ignorant and wrong. The reason being is because in a direct democracy, 3 major cities, like where a lot of the main people are, who have a bigger population than a lot of the states, like some in California, some in New York, would decide what states, other states do. And this was a big thing of Thomas Jefferson, where he would be like, okay, so if these couple of big cities can control the elections, and they'll have power over these states. And basically the idea of the 10th Amendment and a bunch of other, things that have been written in the early founding of the country, which is basically states should have more rights individually than the federal government, and that's why the Electoral College system was come up with. And it definitely means that your vote still counts, because if you don't vote for your state, then the other side will win, and, you don't want that. Which, hopefully you're voting for the Republicans if you're watching this channel. I'd strongly recommend you do so. And the Electoral College basically just gives a lot of the states more freedom, more power over what happens in the elections, and it gives people more candidates, it gives candidates more incentive to go to smaller states because they still have the same amount of electors as, or their votes are worth a little bit more than people with the more electors, and so it's definitely just gives a lot of equal power divided across. And so direct democracy won't work because it'll give power to like 3 states as opposed to the rest of them, which direct democracy has its place and other places, but it's really easy to corrupt, and it's not the best system. We live in a constitutional republic, which is an offshoot of liberal democracy, which is, you don't vote for anything directly. You vote for people to vote, which is the idea of senators and House of Representatives, kind of. You vote for your electors to vote for the president. You vote for your senators to vote for the laws. Constitutional republic. It's a great idea, and that's how we live in the United States, which some of us take for granted, Democrats. Because, as I've already stated, and it's very important to drive home, a direct democracy will never work because it won't give enough power to the states. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe all saw this in the previous founding of the country, except John Adams. He probably knew a little bit about this, but he decided to be a Federalist, and George Washington saw this, and when they were writing the Constitution, they were like, hey guys, we got to make it so that all the states have an equal amount of power instead of just giving all the power to California, which obviously California wasn't a state back then, but the George Washington and the Founding Fathers had a lot of foresight to see, okay, we're going to have a lot of states, and with the foresight, they can see how things are going to go, like not with their foresight, but just the general knowledge that they had of how to write a document. they could say, okay, so this might happen. We're going to have a lot of highly populated areas, and we need to make it so that states have more power than the federal government in general. A lot of people, going off the foresight thing about the founding fathers, this is just a side tangent, but when people say, oh, it's the Second Amendment is outdated because they only had muskets back then, obviously, but then the founding fathers would know that the weapons were going to get advanced. They wouldn't know that we were just going to stay technological stagnant, but I digress. Anyways, that's the Electoral College, very quickly. I promise you within the next week I'll make another video. I'm very sorry for the lack of uploading, but I am very busy running around. I got work, school, after school activities, so I'll be back in the next week with another video, but I just wanted to make a quick video on the Electoral College. Thank you.